Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, if you ask me, a broken drum is the perfect Christmas gift. You just can't beat it. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Cryptozoology for Beginners from Cryptozoic. We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review. In Cryptozoology for Beginners from Cryptozoic, 2 to 4 players take on the roles of amateur photographers as they attempt to snap portraits of the macabre and supernatural. Now, at the beginning of the game, you're going to have an assignment deck and a cryptid deck. You're going to shuffle these separately, place them out there. You're also going to turn over any reward tokens upside down, and you're going to select the first player. Each player will be dealt 2 assignments. You're going to go ahead, you're going to select one. You're going to place one right in front of you. You're going to place one out in the public area, and that is now a public assignment that anyone can attempt to take. Next, each player will be dealt 8 cryptid cards face down. Essentially, you're going to look through them, you're going to find one you like, you're going to take it, then you're going to pass the next one to the next, you're going to pass the deck rather to the next player. Each player is going to go ahead and draft all of these cards until you have a hand of 8 cryptid cards. Now, the cryptid cards have different colors, and they also have different symbols. Now, these are the things that are asked for on the assignment cards. So you're going to be playing these cards to match those colors and symbols. Now, in each player turn, a player is going to take one of their cryptid cards from their hand and place it down in front of them. Then they can have the possibility of activating that card by tapping it, by turning it sideways. And finally, if you have enough cards in the tableau you placed in front of you that matches either your private assignment or one of the public assignments, you can go ahead and claim that assignment card. Now, at certain times, you may play cards that give you rewards, or you may gain rewards from the assignments you've done. In that case, you're going to go ahead and take a reward token from the pile, and you can look at it, but you place it face down. These are kind of hidden points that you don't want your opponents to know about. Now, once the round is ended, you're going to go ahead and place all of your cryptid cards in the discard pile. You're going to keep all of the completed assignment cards in front of you, as well as any private assignments that are not yet completed. You'll keep those in front of you as well. Now, whoever got the fewest points that round, they're going to go ahead and they're going to take the bus, the first player token, and begin an entirely new round. The game lasts a total of 3 rounds. During each of these rounds, as I say, players are getting their assignments. They are getting, through drafting, their cryptid cards. They are playing the cryptid cards. They are completing assignments. They're getting rewards. And then at the end of 3 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. Cryptozoology for Beginners. So, Cryptozoology for Beginners. This is another one of the Stephen Rhodes artwork thing, and the art here, once again, is first rate. It's really a lot of fun. Good stuff here. This game fundamentally comes down to the drafting. You draft 8 cards between y'all. And, I mean, you know, each have 8 cards, and you're drafting to get 8 cards. and really, you have these assignments, and so as you're drafting, you're trying to say, well, do I want to go for the public assignment? Do I want to go for the private assignment? And you're going around like that. Now, the issue is a lot of these assignments are very difficult. For instance, some of them will call for like 5 colors or 5 of a specific symbol. You're drafting 8 cards, which means right at the beginning of that draft, okay, if I want to go for that card, this is what I have to go for. And so you're trying to go for that. And then maybe you can't suddenly. So, well, then, okay, what do I go for here?
So some of the assignments are very difficult considering what you have to do. And so much of this game, so much time in this game is that drafting. And particularly if you're playing with people with AP, it's going to be a bit longer. This really fundamentally, at the end of the day, is a card drafting game where the mechanism is not necessarily card drafting so much as the mechanism is card drafting. It's not a mechanism, it's the mechanism. And so as you're doing that, and you realize that, well, that's the game, suddenly you realize there's really not a lot to it. And there's not a lot in the way of, if you're going for that big score and then suddenly you can't, you may be screwed. And for a round, and there's only 3 rounds. So consequently, there's really not much here. I was very disappointed in this game, particularly because I had played the Living Will is the Best Revenge, which I really enjoyed quite a bit. This one just fell completely flat with me. I've only played it 2-player, but honestly, if I played with 3 or 4, I think my biggest problem with it would just be compounded, and that is it's just drafting cards, and that's just how long it takes. Now, there would be more cards out there, but still, it just seems like if that's what you're doing in the game. And I gotta be blunt, I'm not a fan of card drafting generally. It's just not one of my favorite mechanisms generally in any game. And here, this is what the game's about. So I was disappointed in this. I really don't know who this game's for. It just seems like you've got this kind of small card game, but there are better games out there, including Living Well is the Best Revenge. So the discriminating gamer cannot recommend Cryptozoology for beginners. Ugh. Well, thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, my Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We'd ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We'd also ask you to please, ladies and gentlemen, check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history. I have put some of my lectures up on there as well. Please check that out and subscribe to that channel. I would really appreciate it. And please give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek as well. Again, that helps us out a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, the other day, someone stole all the lamps from my room. Now, I wasn't mad. I was delighted. Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. In Cryptozoology for beginners from Cryptozoic, 2 to 4 players essentially take on the roles of, what are the roles they take on?